Hi, this is a recorded lecture for the IB/DP Design Technology Topic A3.1.2, and we're focused on biomaterials. Materials are classified often using their source and origin, and we need to be able to discuss frame, shell, and solid structures and combinations of these structures in design products. And we need to understand that materials can be classified as natural and human-made, and of course we're focusing on biomaterials with all of this. So first of all, what is a biomaterial? It's any material created by or derived from biological organisms, including plants, animals, bacteria, and fungus. So for instance, an example of a biomaterial would be a bioplastic. So this is a plastic derived from biological substances rather than petroleum, many types of which are biodegradable. You can watch this video. It explains the pros and cons of polylactic acid, or PLA, which we often use for 3D printing. It's an interesting watch. There's also bioplastic films. So this is a thin, flexible material made from renewable resources like corn, sugarcane, or seaweed, or from microorganisms that function similar to traditional plastic films, but are often biodegradable. Again, please watch this. It's about how an Indian company is turning seaweed into a film. There's also mycelium packaging. So this is biodegradable and compostable material made by using fungal mycelium to bind together agricultural waste such as hemp or corn husks. This biofabrication process creates a strong, lightweight, and custom-shaped alternative to traditional plastics like polystyrene or styrofoam, and the material can be grown to custom molds within a few weeks. So mycelium is essentially the roots of a mushroom. It's the actual part of the mushroom you don't see. The mushroom itself is like the fruiting body. It's a bit like an apple. A mushroom is to an apple as the mycelium is to the apple tree, the actual tree itself. This is a video about mycelium packaging. You can see it here. So this is the roots of the mushrooms, and they can grow them into molds and make different packaging options. Bioleather is a sustainable alternative to traditional leather, and it's made from renewable biological resources such as plants, fungus, lab-grown cells, rather than animal hides. Here's a couple of different bioleather videos. This is an interesting one. It just talks about vegan leather and why you shouldn't be fooled by that particular advertisement for products. If it says vegan leather, you really need to know where it's coming from. This one is talking about kombucha leather, and it's interesting. So have a look at those videos. Now, when we're applying biomaterials to frame, shell, and solid construction, we need to think about the fact that you can usually print, so for instance, this is PLA, you can print a frame structure using PLA. So this is one application of biomaterials to a frame structure. And I'm sure there's many others, but this is just a quick example of what that might look like. Shell structures. So for instance, this is mycelium packaging. This is a mycelium box, and it's completely made out of mycelium. And so it's a biomaterial and it's a shell structure. There's also solid structures. This is a bio brick, and it's grown from bacteria, and it forms a durable brick. Now, some advantages and disadvantages to using biomaterials. They're sustainable and renewable because they're derived from renewable resources rather than fossil fuels. They're often biodegradable, so they add to that circular economy idea. They have a low environmental impact because they use significantly less energy than, say, fossil fuel-derived products. They're often biocompatible and safe. They usually have a very unique aesthetic, so they have this nature-inspired aesthetic. Some disadvantages, though, they can be quite temperature sensitive, so they have a lower performance threshold than their synthetic counterparts. They're often quite porous, and so this can be a hygiene issue because bacteria can get into the pores, fungus can get into the pores, and therefore they can be difficult to clean. You're going to have production inconsistencies because biomaterials are derived from living things. They're going to have variations in their strength and texture and quality. Often, manufacturers add chemical additives to biomaterials like colorants, plasticizers, and stabilizers. And lastly, you're going to have a problem with durability and longevity because biomaterials are biodegradable, which is a good thing. They're also not going to last as long as the synthetic counterpart. Thank you for watching.